where visionaries, entrepreneurs, and artists dream, transform, and create. Rae TV. You are listening to Miracle Moment, and I am your host, Rae Irelan. This is where trailblazing, truth-telling, provocative, and successful entrepreneurs and creatives from around the globe share their number one miracle moment that changed everything, pointing them in the direction of igniting epic soul alignment in their life and business. These renegade souls will show you the behind-the-scenes, real-life magic on how to create a world-class lifestyle of true success. I am so glad you're tuning in. The sovereignty piece. Every adult is responsible for their own decisions and their decision making. So I wanted to kind of look at when I'm having a conversation with someone about working with me, it's a question, that I kind of put out there. There's the conversation, but there's the question of like, okay, well, would you like to work with me or not? At that same point, the other person, the person that I'm talking to, is also asking me a question. And basically they're asking me, hey, will you invest your time and energy to help me map out support for kind of what I'm working towards? So it really is this two-way street, right? We're two adults and looking at things on a table, and there's two questions being asked. Now, when a decision is made, it is both parties' responsibility to take that equal responsibility in really seeing through on their side of, in this space, I definitely bring a sacred approach. Like, we are talking about energetics a lot and, spirituality. And so there is kind of this like sacred container that I like to bring into the mix, because that's truly how I feel. It's like soul contracts, soul sacred contracts. But in reality, there's also a formal business agreement that gets made. So when this happens, it is the responsibility that both parties keep the integrity of showing up. And the reason why it's important is that's where the magic happens. And it's happened before, it's happening now, and it will continue to happen over and over again. And there's also going to be this space, there's kind of this dance, right? Like, what does showing up look like? That's also why I like to spend a good amount of time in the beginning to really dial that in and find out what does that specific individual need for support. And with everything that you all are doing, I would highly suggest the same. It's like, okay, well, what does it look like to really show up fully? And so here's what can be extremely uncomfortable is that, like, the fact of the matter is that it is uncomfortable. When you're in the space of transformation and change, which is what you're all in, it's not the easiest path you can be going on in this human life. If you want, you can go get a job in a restaurant. You can go, do something that you don't really care about. And you can do that. Like, that is totally your choice. And there's no right or wrong as well. And so, if you were to ask me, is it worth it? I'd say, like, hell yeah, and I think everyone gets to make their own decision around that. And then you get to own it and really stand behind it. So I've spent a lot of time, like, really, like, hands deep, feet deep, knees deep, whatever you want to call it, in this space. And time again, when some stuff comes up, because it does on either end, it's a really great time to reevaluate and go back into your values and your virtues that you hold. So for me, what this is really bringing forth is wanting to hold the space of integrity and honesty, and kind of that, like, the backbone, like, what is the backbone? So I'm super grateful. This is an amazing lesson to kind of come back and revisit and share with all of you. And so I think, it can be a really difficult thing as someone that loves to people please. Like, yes, I want to make people feel great. Like, I love it. That's why I'm a performer. Like, I love being on stage and making people excited and inspired and really bringing magic through. And yet this is a very different space. Like, this is not my stage. This is actually, I'm here in service for all of you. And so this is where I have to put my people pleasing to the side, because I know that my clients aren't paying me to just like praise them and only give them inspiration. You know, this is a large investment. You're really paying to be able to receive a new perspective and to maybe receive a new perspective and see some blind spots. And unfortunately, that doesn't always feel good, fuzzy, and juicy and yummy like we want it to. And at the same time, as you all work with me, like I love bringing those qualities in as much as possible, because I know it can be quite the journey, you know? So I want to use a metaphor that I did share with Denise on our one-on-one call. And I want to go a little bit deeper, because it's super important to bring up to the table for discussion. And while I'm doing this, I really invite everyone to like be assessing your own values and virtues that you hold, because there really is no right or wrong, right? You get to decide what your values, what your virtues are, and then the cool part is that you're going to bring those into what you're creating as well. So this is, you know, you get to see kind of what I've created based off of my values and virtues. So I want to differentiate first. What is the difference between a friend and a coach? And a lot of you, like I would say, are friends and coaches, you know, or friends and clients. Maybe you were a friend and now you're a client. Maybe you were a client and now you're a friend. I love that space because it just feels really good to me. It's like, it feels like that soul connection. I love going to work. I love creating and expanding my work, bringing more value to it, because I love the people that I'm working with. So again, this is something that you get to decide. Do you want to have that space open? Others are like, you know what, I would rather kind of keep more of a distance. You get to choose. So to differentiate, because even if you are working with your friends and clients and those do intersect, there still is a differentiation that needs to take place. So I'm going to use this metaphor. For instance, say that like I'm the client, and so say I decided that I have a goal and I want to run a marathon, you know? And so I tell my girlfriend, and I'm like, I want to run a marathon, and to reach my goal, I know that I need to be physical every single day. And so I asked my friend, hey, would you support me in that vision and in my purpose? And, you know, I really want to do it because I know I'm going to feel great. And this has just like always been this dream, and I don't really know if I can do it, and I really want to try. Can you help hold that vision for me? And so a friend would be like, yeah, of course, right? If you have good friends. And so I'd be like, yeah, I'll totally hold that vision for you. Now say that I decide that actually I don't want to work out one day, you know, I'm just like not feeling it. And then, you know, maybe after a bit I'm like, actually, I don't even think I want to run that marathon. Like, that's not for me. That's not who I am. So if I took that to my friend, you know, he would probably support me and be like, yeah, that totally makes sense. Like, you're right. The marathon's not for you. And maybe they'll question it a bit, like, oh, why are you doing that? You know, they'll want to be supportive. But in the end, they'll kind of like support you. And I think we all really desire these sort of relationships in our life where we can really just receive that full love and unconditional support, right? Maybe there's like one person in your mind that you know would just like have your back no matter what, and just be like, okay, yeah, like I'm on team Rae, or like I'm on team, you know, Sarah, whatever. Now here's where things can get a little bit difficult, is if you exchange that friend with actually the friend-to-friend relationship with a mentor-mentee relationship. So now imagine I'm someone, and I'm like, okay, I want to run this marathon, and I'm speaking to a coach, okay? So we're in conversation, and I tell this coach about my dream of like, I just have had this dream, and it's been kind of quiet. Like, I haven't really thought about it much, but like for whatever reason right now I'm thinking about it, and I want to run a marathon. And so I like share this really sacred moment of sharing a dream. And so the coach, comes back, same thing as a friend. That's so awesome. I would love to support you, hold that vision. And this is going to be an incredible accomplishment, and it's going to be amazing. And, they're holding that space. And so the next part that the coach brings up is like, hey, like, just so you know, I would love to help you get there. And, it might not be the easiest thing, but if you want to be like fully dedicated to this dream, then let's do it. I know I can help you. I know the route, right? Someone that's done it before. And so in this case, maybe the coach says, yeah, this is kind of what the game plan would look like. Like, I think you should exercise every day, because if you don't, you might go into the marathon and then all of a sudden injure yourself. So this is why I'm giving you kind of this example, this strategy to use to achieve that goal. And so then the person says, okay. So they come into this agreement, right? It's an agreement that the coach is going to be holding you in your highest, and that you're going to be showing up and working with the coach. And so then here comes the days. I don't want to work out. I don't want to get up. You know what? In fact, even one day I'm like, what the heck? I don't even think this marathon thing was my dream. Like, I don't even know where I got this idea. Like, it is not mine. Well, the coach is there to actually help you get back to your vision, to get back to, well, maybe the marathon isn't your why, but like, what was underneath it? Was it, what was it, that feeling of empowerment or of doing something that you never thought you'd be able to do? Like, there was some reason, right? So a good coach will help you get back into that vision space. And the good coach, I actually don't really like to use good and bad, but like a coach that is doing their job is actually unwavering in helping you hold that vision and helping you be fully committed to your true why and what was really underneath it. And if there's an investment, whether energetic, monetarily, time-wise, there's some sort of investment there that both parties are making, right? And so there's a bit of space that can be created in this agreement. But also the coach is there, right? The coach is like, you got this. You totally got this. Come on, let's do it. Like, let's at least try. And if you don't finish the marathon, it's okay, but like, let's get up, let's see this through, and can kind of help you get on board. And so then there's really a little bit of a space here, because say someone gets injured during the training. Okay, this is a real thing, right? You're training for a marathon. What if you get injured? What would that coach do? Well, the best coach would not say, all right, yeah, you're right. You're out of it. You should give up on that dream. No way. They're not going to do that. They're going to say, okay, well, let's see what you have. Let's work on this, and let's actually maybe reevaluate, what needs to get adjusted for you to come back to that place of being able to work towards what you're wanting to work towards. So maybe we're not trying to do the full marathon right away, but maybe, and there's these little shifts and adjustments and that coach is still there with you, holding that space and actually not abandoning you in those low points. It's kind of what we all really desire, actually, is to be supported, especially when we're having the hardest time. So again, it's getting back to what's underneath. What is that bigger why in that original desire, in that original container, in that original spark that got lit. So I just wanted to share this because I think it's so, so valuable. And being able to hold space, true space, and really hold your ground for someone is the most powerful gift. And in that, welcoming and accepting all that comes up along the way. Maybe some of you have seen some like workout videos online or, on the TV shows like growing up where it'd be like, someone's really trying to like lose weight and they have their coach there. And the coach is actually saying like, hey, scream at me. Hey, give me that frustration. Give me your fear. Give me your anger. Like I can take it. And I'm holding space for you. Because truly what is coming up in that anger and in that fear are all those other moments that you've said no to yourself or that others have said no to you, where you've given up on your own dream and others have given up on your own dream. So bring it to the surface. That's what it's here. That's what this container is here for. And know that I can hold space for you. The women can hold space for you. And each one of you will be able to experience this. I can guarantee you will experience this in the work that you're doing. And I'm so excited for you to experience it and to be able to also hold that beautiful space, that unwavering space for someone in their highest and in their vision. Thanks for checking out this video. Subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't yet so you can stay up to date for new episodes coming out soon. And remember to witness and acknowledge the miracles and magic in every moment. This is Rae Irelan, and I'll see you soon.